I am here to take what you normally think about preparing for those dreaded behavioral interview questions and flip it completely on its head and make it so much more easy and powerful to answer those questions. So here's what most people think. They will go and Google or go to the HR department and come up with a list of potential questions. And that could be daunting. If you really looked at the universe, it's probably 50 or 60, 70 iterations of these questions that could be asked. And then you go and you prepare. How would I answer this? How would I answer that? And the problem with that is, one, it's daunting. Two, you get all up in your head. So when they're asking those questions, the next thing you do is you're like going through your mental library and trying to figure out what your answer is. And you're not able to like be authentic and connect, and you're just performing. Here's what I want you to do instead. Instead, I want you to simply think of maybe 8 or 10 of your top stories that you can remember from not just your career, but maybe also from your lifetime. What are those stories about the time, the super funny time when you failed with something, or a time, that you always tell people about how you confronted somebody in a meeting? Like, come up with your best stories, log like 15 or 20 of them, and then pick out like, what are your best stories? And here's the key. Most stories have at least 3 sort of lessons that come out of them, right? One story could show how you grew as a leader. It also could show how you faced adversity. It also could show how you brought others along. Almost every story you ever tell, whether it's literally or maybe even metaphorically, there's always multiple lessons that come with each. And so if you instead think about what are these top 10 stories and then kind of think through, oh, okay, I could take this lesson or that lesson, but really focus on the stories. Then when you get asked a question, I simply want you to go into your library of those like 8 or 10 stories and tell one of those. Even if they don't ask you to tell a story, you always want to lead with the story. And then make that bridge of like, I tell you this because when you asked about how it how I've, overcome adversity, what I learned from that is blah, 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 blah. It's so much more fun. You become so much more personable. And these stories are probably stories that you've told a million times, whether it's to coworkers or at a happy hour. And so people are going to really get to know you. And they're going to get to know you personally and authentically without sounding like you're in a performance. So next time you get freaked out about those behavioral questions, throw them out the window. Instead, think about the stories you're going to tell and how you connect those together.